everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're interested on this wig look right here and how I installed it, as well as some tips on how I created it, then stay tuned and keep watching. Starting off, I'm just brushing my natural hair back into a slick bun. If you want, you could go ahead and braid it, but I'm just gonna wear this for a day or two, so I'm just gonna put it in a slick bun. If you are going to wear it longer than a couple days, the wig, I suggest getting some braids. That way it's flatter and it lasts a lot longer as well. Now I'm just taking a bald cap. I don't know what you call this, but I call it a bald cap. And I basically put it on until I look like an egg, which is what I felt like. I'm taking a comb and slicking back any of my actual hair. That way when I take this off, it doesn't rip my hair off. So that's what I'm doing with this comb now. You could also slick it and gel your natural hair back, but I just didn't do that. Now I'm just taking some Got2b hairspray and I'm going to put that along the hairline. With the hairspray, I do add a few coats and I do let it dry in between. So I'll spray one layer, let it dry, come back, spray another layer, let it dry, and then do that until I get 3 layers before cutting it. That way I know the bald cap is secure. While the bald cap is drying, you could go ahead and use a blow dryer, but I didn't do that. I usually just let it air dry. I'm taking some foundation and I'm just gonna put that on top just to make sure everything matches. You could use whatever foundation you want. For me personally, I am using the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Foundation in the shade 470, just because I feel like it matches my skin really nicely and I love the way it blends and I just love this foundation. So that's what I'm using. You could also use concealer or even a powder. Right here, I basically turned the wig inside out so I could do the same exact process that I did to my bald cap. I'm just taking the same foundation and the same foundation brush and I'm just putting that all over the lace so that it matches me. Now I'm just gonna start cutting the bald cap. I got some scissors and I like to start off by cutting my ears out of the bald cap. So that's what I'm doing here. I like to make small holes and then just pull my ear through so it kind of cuffs around it and feels secure. When you do this, you got to make sure the hairspray is dry or else you would pretty much have to redo this whole process over. After I cut around my ears, I like to go down the middle of my forehead and then just cut off the excess. If you are a beginner, I would do smaller sections. That way you don't mess up. You have less chance of messing up. And then just cut along the edges. So this is the wig. This is the inside of the wig. It does not have a headband and I did not add one. So I'm just going to go ahead and hook it on underneath the bald cap so it holds onto my hair and is secure. And then I'm just going to go ahead and measure and make sure I don't need to cut the bald cap more, or if I do, and just see where the hairline lies. Once I feel like it matches up pretty well, I'm going to go ahead and take some Got2b glue and just put that along the edges to lay down the wig. In this process, I do add a few layers of the glue, kind of like the hairspray. I let it dry down, add another layer, let it dry down. In this case, I only added 2 layers before going in. You want to make sure the glue dries down clear. If it's white, it's going to show white on the lace, so you want to make sure that it's clear before pressing it down. When pressing down the wig, if you're doing it on yourself, you pretty much want to do it in each section just to make it a lot easier. If you have someone there to help you, it's a lot helpful, but if it's just you, you want to do each section by itself. And then I just take a headband to pretty much lay it all down so that it could dry flat. So now I'm just taking off the headband, it's pretty much dry, and now I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting the lace. I do kind of create like a wave kind of shape, that way it looks and blends in with my skin and looks like a natural hairline. And with this process, you do want to be careful, because if you cut too short, you pretty much mess up, and then you also don't want to have too much lace, so you kind of just want to cut it in section by section. Now I'm just dividing and separating the hairs that are around my ear, because I do need to cut that section out so my ear could come out and it would look natural. So that's what I'm doing here. There's no really specific order in which way you could cut the lace. I just cut it in whatever order I feel like. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start cutting around my ear just so I have that space and help my ear stick out. So now I'm just cutting the other side with the same method pretty much. As you can see, the foundation really does help for it to blend into the skin, and that is exactly what you want. So now that I am done cutting all the lace, I'm just gonna go ahead and brush the hair out and style it, press it down with the hot comb and everything. I did not add any baby hairs. You can, it'll help with the lace a lot, but for me personally, I just liked the look without it. If you do need to, go ahead and go back in with some glue just to make sure it's flat, it's blended, not just the skin, and there's no bubbles or anything. So that's what I'm doing here, and just pushing it down so that it's flat. So now after applying the glue, I'm just gonna go ahead and let it dry. Made sure I pushed it down so it blended nicely with my skin and that it was nice and flat. And then I also just brushed out my hair with the comb. I already styled it before putting it on, so it's still pretty good. Now I'm just gonna cut any parts that are sticking up because I do want this hair to be flat. So this wig was originally blonde. I went ahead and toned it with purple shampoo until I got all the yellow out. And then I parted out the bangs that I wanted to be lighter, and I used a T14 Wella toner on that. And then the rest I went ahead and dyed it black. So this is pretty much how it looks. I hope you guys like it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.